It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo touchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego politico, my ego don't come, oh, this one not the off in mind, my ego don't come, oh, and in the touchlight every corner, my ego don't come, okay, some people be they holla say they want the power, them be promise us say we go get light and power, them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Politico, my ego don't come, oh, this one not the off in mind, my ego don't come, oh, person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This man not the off in mind. My ego don't come, oh, yo.
Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you. Good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. Thank you so much for joining me. Good, top of the moment to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Máyégún máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Nukus, Dalu, and everything shall be well.
Máyégún diary politico. Godfatherism. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ ṣe o kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
It's going to be interesting, but before I even get fully into it, yeah, I think I want to give you a quick update on our, on our fundraiser and on our intervention and all of that, so that we can say thank you to every one of us who responded yesterday when I was giving an update. Okay, so from the feedback we got back yesterday was that maybe we should do more for the 12 people that were arrested and persecuted at Oloye Sunday Igbo's house. But apart from that, it seems that everything is fine. But with little explanation, some of us will probably know the reasons why we must not lose focus. Okay, this journey started almost a month ago. And the purpose then was that it will be a legal aid and intervention, which also will come with a little support, no matter how tiny it is. So the goal of the fund is to call it our safety net, the safety net for those that are being persecuted for believing or even speaking out publicly for Yoruba Nation. So that is the goal of this fund, and so far so good, right? We have made some kind of intervention that are so significant. Many of them are not as loud as probably you would want it. However, we have done that. So I want to give you a quick update, figure for figure, cash for cash, before I proceed, all right? Yesterday, we received responses from some of you who were watching the program when we all agreed then that the fundraiser should continue. But for some reason, for over 5 days, we received no donation, no nothing on it. So it was just there until last night when many of you decided to turn up. About 8 people topped it up from what it was yesterday to what it is now, if you check the Give Send Go. But what do we really have at hand when we talk about account balancing? All right. Right. So we raised over 31,125 pounds, I would say. From that, the platform, not like GoFundMe, so they took 10% of our fundraiser, which is the 26,000 we had with them earlier. So they took 10% of that and they started releasing the bulk of the rest of our donation back to us. So in all, when I was making a payment out in the last 1 week, so I have received a total of, where is that again? Yeah, a total of 28,200 pounds as from our total, your donation, my donation, because my money is also part of it to start with, right? So our donation, I've received that as cash. Then we've started the disbursement. So I'm going to use them in pound sterling and naira now, okay? So from what we have received, we have also paid out the following: the 2 million naira deposit we gave to the lawyer, the 2 million naira for the Oloye's welfare, which I said that we won't be going much into details until later. Then the 1.7 million naira that we used for the welfare of Alano and everyone around them, especially those of us who know why we did that. And then the recent payment of $1,800,000 for the 12 people arrested and persecuted at Oloye Sunday Igbo's house. Right? So if you put all of this together in naira format, you will say it's 7.5 million naira. Okay. But in my own figure here, with the commission and the exchange rate and the rest, it simply puts at 10,490 pounds. That's how much we've spent so far. Now, if you deduct that from our 28,200 pounds that we have at hand, or we had at hand, then that gives us a balance of 17,710 pounds. Now, if you put that in naira, just because it's going to end up in Nigeria anyway, or end up in this whole process after all, right? So if you put that 17,000 in naira, 17,710 pounds in naira, with the current rates that we have right now, put it at 762 pounds exchange rate, that will put us at 13.5 million naira. Now, this is where we are. Okay, this is the up-to-date, up-to-date info on our fundraiser. The intention is that let there be a safety net so that when they think they can use their illegal system to hold any of our people illegally, at least the first thing that will come to them, a respite in the form of a legal representation wherever they found themselves. And Igbo agreed to this. Do you understand that now? So this is where we are. And then to what we have already spent, to what we have in the savings, right? Nothing happened. So, I mean, nothing happened without the consent of Oloye, Sunday, Igboho, and some other names that I choose not to share with you. The reason why I decided not to be that kind of flamboyant, elaborative, and all of this descriptive about how this whole thing is working behind the scene is because, number one, I am known as a one-man mopo. So if you have any question, if you have any doubt, if you have any kind of objection to how this works, just send them to me. But the reason why I don't really fail, the reason why Mayegun will never fail is because, yes, I have a face of a one-man mopo, but I am a man of a battalion where when you look behind me, just that you probably would never see them, you probably would never know them, but they are part of those who help shape most of what I do on Mayegun's Diary Political. I give them the credit, but they prefer the anonymity. Some of them are watching me right now. So in the end, it is a case of black and white. So when we get more, then that means we save more. And when we save more, that means we do more. And one last thing as well, okay? I know so many of you who have developed this amazing love for Mayegun. But I want you to remember one thing. Mayegun General is just my screen name. I have had people sending me messages. Mayegun, do you remember me? We went to Unilag together. We did student union in Unilag together in 1990. Remember, before Showore, this and that, I knew you are going to be this great person. You are a great orator. I was like, hello. In 1990, I was just about 6 years old boy. So I'm not the Mayegun that most of you were with in your 1990, right? So Mayegun is my screen name. So whatever experience you have with any Mayegun from Unilag, any Mayegun from student union anywhere, any Mayegun from wherever you have, good or bad, right? Please look straight. Mayegun General is my screen name, and there is a purpose for that, because so if you have any Mayegun you have a contact with in Unilag, then it's not me. Because if it's that your Mayegun of 1990, then that means I must have been this genius guy who was just 6 years old, but a 6 years old university undergraduate in Unilag. So please keep all your other imaginary stuff about me to yourself. Most of it, I am completely faceless. You know why? I don't have many friends. People don't like to be my friends, because when they try to be my friend, they realize that some of those they respect publicly, some of those they worship publicly, are the people I wash down publicly. So I don't have friends, I don't have associates, I don't have contacts, and people are saying I should begin to do that. And I said, it is not my own style. I relate with everybody the way they present themselves to me. So I don't have a group, I don't have association, I don't have any movement. I only have one thing, this temple, the temple of truth, where everyone is welcome. And guess what? On this temple, we don't even identify you as from your tribe, religion, class, age. You know what I mean? We just identify you the way you present yourself. That's how we deal with you. And that is the only thing you can associate me with. Any other thing, they make them up by yourselves. I just gave you a clue if it will help you. So I'm so anonymous enough that the best you can find the best you can find about Mayegun is always from Mayegun himself. Trust me. But apart from that, people have made a lot of imaginary images, imaginary stories, imaginary things about me. They've even told me themselves. And sometimes I'm like, no. That's not. Mayegun, you don't understand. Anyway, I'm just saying it to you that this is where we are. And I want to say thank you to everybody who responded. And hopefully, we will do more. Because you said it. Mayegun, we are not stopping this donation. It has to continue. We need to keep it. We don't want to be surprised. We don't want an emergency fundraiser. Now, this idea actually appealed to the leadership of Ilano, Omo Odua, when they came to Mayegun's Diary Politico, to come and talk to us, that they love what we are doing. They love our togetherness. They love our openness. And they kind of love our bluntness too. Those are the qualities that makes us kind of different, isn't it? So we set the rules. Nobody set rules for us. Remember that. And as your chief priest on the Temple of Truth, I set the rules based on your mood. Trust me, I know your mood enough to know what not to tell you and what to tell you, even if you are going to be so uncomfortable. I will still tell you when I have to, but that is to say, I know when to set the rules that will never take us astray. So we are doing well, and we are not in a hurry. Our impact, our efforts, they will feel them even when we are not touching them. Now, that is something they call power. It is more effective than just noise making, shouting, threatening. You know what I mean? I love this. I love the fact that we can influence things there. And another thing we're going to do in the next 1 week now, I'm telling you now, okay, what we're going to do in the next 1 week that we're going to spend our money on is going to be the immediate unconditional release of the 2 corpses of the innocent people they killed at Oluye Sunday Igboho's house, right? So those are going to be our next move in the next 1 week. Now, we don't know how long it's going to be. Excuse me. We don't know how long it's going to be, but I can tell you this free of charge. We have already started work on it. And the moment we know when and when to, where to pull, yeah, so that will be the next move from us, the Diaspora for Justice, the Friends of Mayegun, the Friends of Igbo, the Yoruba sons and daughters, home and abroad, the Friends of the Yorubas, the liberty and the freedom lovers all over the world. Yes, that will be our next move. Now, I love that. And gradually, we'll begin to get even more of our people convinced and more kind of, determined that, well, it seems that us being together this time around will be much effective and faster than it has ever been, right? If we can actually maintain it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to maintain it. So if you have any problem with how this is being handled, if you have any issue with it, right, please raise it with me, okay? Don't make up stories. You're not going to help yourselves. In fact, the best for you is that to dig in and get the facts out. The ones you can probably get now, do that rather than make up stories, because there's so much that is going to happen. Some of them, I would rather wait when they matured enough and they start kicking them. Like when you hold them in their scotrum. What do you call it? Now scotrum. What do you call it? There's a lot you can do with money without having to fire a bullet. I am of that mentality, and kind of love it that there are some other powerful people who genuinely believe in the liberation, independence of Yoruba people from Nigeria. No joke. Oh, this is not a joke. This is not like, people are trying to make things up, or people are trying to, you might have seen people who have tried to make money from this. But you know one thing, since I started picking up calls from those who felt like we have what it takes. We actually have what it takes to what? To lay foundation for something magical, something historical, and something, right? Proud, that you will be so proud of if we can build it, like something that everybody will be like, you know, something great like that. So they said, through you guys on Mayegun's Diary Political, something can be built that we can then build on. They saw it, and we're going to make that happen for them. We're going to make that happen for our children. We're going to make that happen for those who genuinely believe. And guess what? Their investment is going in more into intelligence. That's something powerful too. So I love that, and we have to continue raising the fund until when you all feel like, you know what? Now let us close this fund. Let's close it now, Mayegun, and let us focus on the Yoruba Rescue Fund for the general work of the real struggle. Remember, this one is just an intervention. It's just on the side, and good enough is doing magically so well for those people behind the scene. I still just haven't given you the real picture yet, because some of them, I shouldn't be telling you them yet. You get what I mean? So again, I want to say thank you to every one of us who made this, who made it this far. Now let's get into the real story. Before we do that, you have spent the last 20 minutes with me, and we have close to 1,000 of us as we speak. Yeah. Only 200 of us have dropped their own offerings, and I bet those are the first comers, you know, the first callers. You are in the temple right now. You are sitting right there in the temple, right there in your living room, receiving this message, and we're about to get down into it. I bet you, right? And you haven't really dropped your offering. You haven't really subscribed, have you? Even if you stumbled on this video by accident or by providence. So you can like it, like the video, share it, subscribe. And when I get back now, yeah, we're going to get to the parts, the fun part, where people are trying to drag themselves into enslavement. And they're going to tell you, do you have any other choice for us? Well, who else do you want us to go for? We know what they will always do. But let us also remind them the consequences of what they will choose, so that when that time comes as well, they won't turn around like they did, or they are doing right now during Buhari's time, trying to blame everybody, who is now telling everyone that it is enough. Break the chain, break the circle, and break yourself free from these shackles, right? Now they will turn around and say, you are the problem of Nigeria. Instead of you to be preaching to preach unity, you know, unity begging with the unity beggars. We are going to remind them of the consequences, because they'll still do what they will do. Articulators, articulated morons, articulated mugus, they are now on the move. Like the video. When I get back, we'll continue.
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I will talk about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't. I think it's he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me. No. He can talk for himself.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well, I think
that's what they say. So it's a one chance. Now that one chance, they won't enter again, because you see, you and I, we can laugh. We can laugh, we can, joke about Tifnumbu Atole. We can laugh and joke about Tifnumbu claiming to be 69 years old. Tifnumbu with his Parkinson, dementia, and the rest of all those things is hiding. His health condition, deteriorating health condition that they are hiding, of course. Danger. You don't want to have another Buhari, do you? No, we don't want to have that. Oh, do you still even want to be part of the whole arrangement, contraption of, oh, well, I don't want to be part of that either. Then look at it in another way. Because for those who probably will tell you, Tifnumbu is a no. But Atiku could be a yes to these selective, humbled slaves, obedient fools, and sophisticated morons. I told you that these guys, they love their oppressors differently, yeah? Atiku, right? Apart from all the fact that he has the same record as Tifnumbu, you know what I mean? The chance he had as the vice president to Obasanjo, just same thing that Obasanjo had access to, the same, the same chance, let me put it this way, the chance of 8 years that he had with Obasanjo, and the chance of 22 years that Tifnumbu is enjoying in Lagos, and the access they have to the wealth they've managed to loot, or they are looting as we speak, yeah, is of the same proportional magnitude that brought Nigeria to a nail. When you begin to pick them one after the other, stealing, looting, abrogating their public fund to themselves, public property sold cheaply to themselves. I mean, selling government properties as scraps. That was the specialty of Atiku, where he actually made some of his own blood money. While education died, he opened himself an American, Africa, America, Nigeria, America, whatever, American university, APC. Are you with me? Same thing with Obasanjo. Into when the education system completely destroyed under them, right? They opened a university. The only difference is that Buhari that came, or that Atiku and others made president in 2015, the same Buhari, he chose not to wait till after he leaves office. So Amaechi, the Ubima Judas Iscariot, has already built a university for him in Daura. That's not the point. Primarily, it's just the reference, the track record of the rogues, and their participation in where you found yourselves today. So Atiku wanted to be president for the third time in 2015. When he realized that was going to fail in PDP, he moved with Saraki, Kwakwanso, and the rest of them. They moved to form what they call APC, egbekegbe, where he publicly, bragged that he spent over 6 billion naira to make Buhari president. Saraki bragged that he spent over 10 billion to make Buhari president. But they never got the reward forever, or their investment was. That desperation kicked them out of APC. He moved to PDP. This time around, he got the ticket. But before he came for that ticket in 2019, the guy disappeared, just like in 2007. He contested to be president of Nigeria in 2007. Before then, he wanted to contest to be president of Nigeria in 2003. They said Obasanjo begged him, prostrated and begged him not to, you know what I mean? So that Obasanjo could go for second term. So in 2007, he was already all out with Obasanjo, so he had to go to another political party to contest. He lost. So in 2011, he came back again. In 2015, he came back. This time around, he was more desperate because then, Jonathan was more pretty much like, they could use this northern Wahala and all that. Cut it short, he lost again to Buhari. Now, in 2019, from 2007, he's been living outside Nigeria. Where? Dubai. So, his own doctors, the people who are charging his own battery, they are there in Dubai, but you won't know them now, just same way you never knew those who are sending Tiger battery, Tiger batteries to Buhari before he became president, and they changed the battery to titanium now. Titanium IOD battery that they have to actually fly him down to the UK to do. First class, you know what I mean? Because Atiku, like Tifnumbu, they are also a complete wreck. He is 84 years old. Abi, is he 84 or 86? Like it's not 84. No, somebody said it's 74. Well, 74. But the point is this. In Atiku's file, his file says that it's going to be, by the time you get to 2023, it will be 76. So when they do the abracadabra that they are likely going to force your hand into, and I'll tell you how they're going to force your hand, because some of you, I've told people, I said, just if you don't want to mess up with your own mental health, right? You see this era, this period, that people are going to start they will start the suffering, or let me say the sufferness for their, what do you call it? Once they will start suffering their Stockholm syndrome, selective amnesia, when they will be giving excuses why Yoruba nation can wait, why Biafra can wait. Some people will even be telling you that this person, he has a plan on how you are going to do referendum. If they have to start talking about referendum as well, or a constitution in their campaigns, this is the time that your brothers and sisters that you have been together for the past 2-3 years, as comrades, encouraging yourselves, we must continue. We must continue. Biafra now, Yoruba nation now, all this, now, all this while. I bet some of you are already seeing some of your brothers and sisters already giving you advices. Some are already feeling like, if PDP give Peter Obi the ticket, at least they will support Igbo Presidency and they will wait for Biafra later. All these feelings, I said, don't mess up with your mental health. If not, you are just going to be so disturbed at different surprises you're going to be seeing with your brothers and sisters. But anyway, it is getting to that part. Atiku is as sick as Tifnumbu. He is as sick as Buhari, but with packaging, with the young people, supposed young people who are actually the products of the same rotten system. They are the enablers who are waiting for a day that they will have their own fair share of the cookie jar. Now, this is reality. And remember that I kind of like to prepare your mind for what goes on around you and how much of things that happen around you can influence you. And when you fight their influence, if you don't want all these lies, because you're going to see them, you're going to wake up on, the people are going to write up fake stories. The people are going to make fake promises, make different things on behalf of these people. People are going to use what is so dear to you to tell you to calm down for now. But how do you escape all of that? Is by knowing that this period is going to be that time. Maybe many of us are already saying, what is wrong with people? They have no electricity. They have no this. They have no that. People are dying. This and that. They are still all of them are still talking about Atiku, talking about Tinubu, talking about. They will have to talk about them. You know why? It is because every messages that they will be reading on social media, on the radio, on TV, in the newspaper, the posters and everything, images. Messages they will be coming in contact with, they are messages of these people. They are going to be, they're going to be flaunting them on their faces. On social media, you will see them. Or, you know what I mean? And all these things are to help shape your mind until you completely just get lost. Oh, bubble. And some of you are going to be fighting that, especially when people you have been so kind of, cool with for the past months. When you begin to see that these messages are beginning to influence them, I bet you send them down to Mayegun's Diary Political so that I can possibly tell them what to expect. And when you know what to expect, it probably will never influence you. Do you get that now? Atiku is now talking about one Nigeria. He's talking about unity. Why is he talking about that? Because he knows that Nigeria of today, like Nigeria of 1960, was never one. The lies of one Nigeria that they have been telling all this while, right? Buhari has exposed that. So somebody needs to come with a message that says, see, listen, I know what to do to unite us and make us one Nigeria. Even when the process of him seeking that solution, offering that solution and seeking the job to give that solution itself is, unfair. Maybe I should explain that to you. They know that Nigeria is at the complete, precipice, at the edge of the cliff, Lamakwe. They know that. They know that no matter what, Buhari has done and APC, egbekegbe have done a terrible job to expose the crack, which has always been the lies. One Nigeria, our differences is our power. Our differences is our strength. All those lies that they put in the books, all those fancy speeches that they give, all those lies, Sha. Buhari came and he exposed everything. So somebody needs to come and talk about, they won't talk about Biafra straight away. They will talk about the marginalization of the Igbos. And guess what? The person who is coming to fix the marginalization of the Igbos is going to have to also use the unfair system to gain that power. And then come and take care of the marginalization of the Igbos, marginalization of all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, which makes the whole thing a sham, a charade. But they have a way of putting it, which is a show. Atiku is back in Nigeria now. Is now campaigning to be the president of Nigeria. This time around, it is because all of you are crying, asking him to come and rescue you. In his own words.
Several calls and encouragements from you to contest again. I have listened to your brave voices. Beyond the words coming out of your mouths, I could imagine your frustrations, yet you are hopeful. I admire you greatly for choosing hope over despair. In 2023, we want a president who has ideas on how to fix Nigeria. I have no doubt in my mind that we as Nigerians can do it. We have done it in 1993. We can do it in 2023. Don't give up. You and I know that Nigeria is in dire need of visionary leadership. That is why I am happy to announce my candidacy for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria. I offer myself to rescue the sinking ship. Under my captainship, this ship will sail to a brighter course by the grace of God. However, this journey is not mine alone. It is a journey I am taking for all Nigerians. It is also a journey to a destination I plan with my late great mentor, Major General Shehu Musa Yaradua, and with my beloved compatriot, the late and great Chief Enquio Abiola. May their souls rest in peace.
At least he spared us he spared us the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He said that Yaradua and MKO Abiola are those who inspired him. Dead people inspired him as something that to appeal to some demography and era. You know what I mean? But it's all politics. But the point here now is this, right? It's a big thing, though. The only people who can stop Atiku in PDP are the PDP governors led by Wike. So when you talk about unity in a country or unity, even unity in a group, you must also make sure that you are not taking away equity or fairness. And they say, he who will come to equity must come with clean hands. Abi? Nigeria is supposed to be one country, right? Now, you have everything from 1966 rigged for a singular purpose of a region controlling the levelers of power in Nigeria. That is the primary purpose of one Nigeria since 1966. Population fraud, population census, which has been rigged from time immemorial, 1966, from that period. Population decides who gets what or who becomes what. So, which then put some, northern Nigeria politically, just for this selfish elite, politically, it put them in that advantageous position to use that fraudulent numbers to swing any decision in their favor. And if they are not going to have their way, they are the only ones who have the capacity to stage a coup. Have you not noticed? I think we've shared that many times. To part of textbook definition of unequal country, unfairly distributed, unevenly distributed country, Nigeria. The primary reason for all these stripes, primary reason for all the wahala. So once population says this one controls everybody, that means is either you fight and start, before you can get anything, or you just have to queue behind them in a way. So this unfair thing now led to who becomes what. So when they gave them democracy, Decree 24, I don't hear that in order, said 1999 Constitution. 1999 fraudulent Constitution. It's not a constitution. It is Decree 24, Military Decree 24. It's not a constitution. Constitution is the law book that is put together by the people and for the people with a vote that says, yes, approved. A referendum approved constitution is what they call constitution in a country. Be decree. Abdul Salami Abubakar that puts 6-7 people inside the room, lawyers, military thugs and everybody. They wrote that nonsense and they just put some legal terminologies in them to make them sound like they are legal this, section, subsection, section and subsection, and they are full of contradiction and all of that. Decree 24. 2000, 1999 fraudulent constitution. So, then you have to conduct an election on that. Election on a fraudulent constitution
that is weaponizing fraudulent population census, which is now being fraudulently used to rob Peter and pay Paul. And then they breeded, or they finally built, an unequal, unjust, lawless, corrupt fourth world country called Nigeria. Do you understand that? Maybe I don't talk too much. Maybe say I don't take you too far. What I'm trying to tell you is that the whole fraudulent arrangement is so obvious that if you pay attention to the base, amukun, eruewo, you know, amukun in Yoruba is somebody who has some physical disability. You know, people who have physical disability and they are carrying something on their head, and you are looking at him and you're like, amukun, what happened to you? Why do you carry your load? Like, why is your load so bent? And he was like, you're just looking at the top. Why can't you look down? Look down. Look at me. That's exactly what Nigeria is. So if anybody says they are fixing Nigeria, they are lying. You can't fix what is unjustly put together. It doesn't work that way. And this is what I mean by that. Look at America. You know why you get to hear all this, America has 50 states. 50 states in America. I bet many of you, which one is many of us? I can't tell you to close your eyes now and count and tell me 30 of those states in America. But you will remember the popular ones. New York, Washington, which one is Pennsylvania. I'm not talking about Pennsylvania Avenue. You'll be talking about Maryland. You'll be talking about where? So you see, that's what I'm trying to say. 50 states, but by the time you start counting them, you'll be mentioning popular big ones. California, Texas. Hey, you know what I mean? But before, you see, you will know all the Americans here. It's so easy for them. Look at them. You see, they are typing now. Don't worry, read your screen. We are typing them for you. Start counting. I know. But you know what I'm talking about? There are so many smaller ones. And if you really want to enjoy what's even distribution, consideration, geographical location, and every other thing that people, they put together in making their electoral laws. I know. Look at them. You will know Americans. Look at them. They are there. I don't read enough. I don't see. It's in New York, South Dakota, Illinois, Kansas, Wyoming. I've been at Wyoming. Sorry, Wyoming, and all that. But in those states, you can tell those big ones and their sizes. America population is close to how many now? How many are you guys now? 350 million or 300 million? But look at that 300 million. There are some states in America, their entire population will reach 5 million. When some states have 50 million. California, what is the population of California? Yeah, you are 350 now. California alone, they are possibly about 50 million. Now imagine the people from, there are some states, they say if it's by population that they should be voting. Sorry, somebody said 3 million. I don't know. Anyway, they said if they should be voting, look at this, just like the same way they put, meanwhile, American population and their electoral figure and all of that are verifiable. You can verify all the, you know what I'm talking about. Now, they say if to say America was like Nigeria, places like New York, California, Texas, and then which other biggest state you have there, they will be the ones winning or deciding who become the president of America. And that would have automatically swing the power into the hands of some people And then others will have to queue behind them. I hope you get what I'm trying to get at here, right? So, American electoral is not perfect. No system is perfect all over the world. But I'm just telling you that Nigeria adopted American system of federal system of government. But they can't go back home and they started practicing the Nigerian style of federal system of government, which is pretty much like a unitary system of government anyway, militocracy. So in America, they know the power of choosing who decides or who are those who are going to be in charge of the destinies of millions of Americans. It's so important that every American must have a say in that. And every vote from every part of America is as important as anyone's from anywhere in America. Maine, Alaska, those are small states too, very small. When they come to national election, you see those two states sometimes, they can decide who becomes president of America or not. You know why? Because that is what they call the value in the electoral system, where every candidate knows that every American is important. But in Nigeria, no. They are showing it to you all the time because see, it is because the figure that they are using as template of who becomes what is fraudulent, and they will never let anybody check it. They will not let you check it. Why do you even want to check it? That's why everybody said there's no point in checking the number. Shebi the Northern Nigeria have the numbers to elect anybody as president. They should keep the name. Can we just have a consensus in Southern Nigeria, for God's sake? Wake up, smell the morning coffee, and know that no matter how you do it, except if you are benefiting from the rot, your people are always going to be the victims of what Nigeria is going to be. The system says, rob Peter to pay Paul. What does that mean? Even though Peter that they are robbing will never have a say on those who are in charge of what they are robbing from him. He doesn't have a say. Now the Paul, where they pay, when do they do anything? That's the system you have in Nigeria. They rob the South. They rob the North. These elite criminals, they rob everyone they could rob but South. Quite is the golden goose that lays the golden egg, I believe. They rob everybody of everything they can rob you. Then they flaunt it and say, well, it's our man, it's our turn. So they rob Peter to pay Paul, and the unfairness, talking about that unfairness. Atiku is coming out and he's preaching unity. So now we found ourselves in a situation whereby we are just to wake up and say we are one Nigerians. And now we are one Nigerians, and say, okay, if we are one Nigerians, how come it is now an impossibility to say, you know what? Let us all of us agree that the next president should be an Igbo man, just to prove that indeed Nigeria is one country. You know why I'm saying that? You see, today, in 1999, I don't know, and I don't know why, but I think I do now, because if the Biafran says they want to leave, and Yorubas have not said they want to leave, then Yorubas said they want to leave when they killed Abiola. And then they were like, you know what? If Yorubas are not this Yoruba elite, should automatically agree that they are leaving. True. Nigeria is going to break up. So suddenly, they agree that everybody should just give their power to the next president. 1999 should be a Yoruba man. Abi, you all forgot that they actually did that. There was no advertisement to say Yorubas were not even asking to be president. I can't remember if Yorubas said they wanted to be president in 1999 or that if this democracy, in the next democracy, if you don't make us, but they did it anyway. Abi, have you forgotten? To the point that what do you call it? PDP fielded Yoruba, AD fielded Yoruba, and all other people who ran against those who were supposed to be Yoruba aspirants, they ended up stepping down. Well, that was what gave Atiku his own limelight anyway, to represent his own cabal of the era in that new democracy. So why are you all now pretending and saying that if Igbos want to be president of Nigeria, meanwhile you all know why you would? I mean, if you see those who actually will tell you the Igbos should go and they have to fight for it. The Igbos, nobody's going to offer it to them. But you could offer it to us on a platter in 1999, Abi. It is just, me. I don't really care whether you give it to you, Igbo president or not. The reason why I use that particular example is that Nigeria as one country is a fraud that you know very well. There is this unwritten code that even you, whether you are a Yoruba man, you are an Igbo man, whether you are an Hausa man, a Fulani man, or an Ijo, wherever you come from, I'm even saying even if you are an Igbo man, you know it still. You know it. That even though they didn't write it anywhere, but it's called unwritten code. Nigeria, all of them, all these criminals say, you know what? To prove that Nigeria can still work, you know what we're going to do? The next president should be, all the political parties should give all the Igbo candidates. I mean, you should try that. But you know you won't try that. Nigeria is a business center. The person that came to expose the lie is no other person than Buhari and gang. So anything they tell you right now, there's no unity without equity. There's no unity without fairness. There's no unity without justice. And nobody can buy that for you. Nobody can fight for that for you. You will have to fight that. Atiku is not coming to come and help you fight anything. You should know that. Of course you should. They say, that's what they are coming for. All their losses under Buhari, that's what they want to get back. So why are they preaching unity that is not real? That's the question. If you see this one, the other day, one weary came here. In fact, I don't know if the weary is still watching anyway, because they do watch me. They just hide it there until they can no longer take it, and they will bring out their phones and they will start typing. One weary came and he said, "What is all this nonsense, Mayegun, that you are doing? Instead of us to be working together to bring all Nigerians together, to make them one and united and build a country." I was like, you get what I mean? Because the person wrote a very long, trying to tell me why we have to do everything to, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, let me see. But when you reply, I actually said, Alaye, did you miss road? I don't know. I didn't go back there to read any other replies after that. On YouTube, you cannot unite people by just saying, let us unite. Because if you pay attention very well, even if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people coming together to say they want to unite, you will still see the victims that requires justice. If you don't address that, you don't say it out. Let us unite. We need unity. Unity is not just a word. I think it's an act. Do you know that? If I want to say, let us be united now, look, if me, I say, hey, my Yoruba brothers and sisters, we need to come together and be united enough to do this and that. Amaechi's diary political. Have you not seen that example? We said, we need to come together. We need to put our resources together. We need to get justice for those who are being persecuted. And you see, everybody came together. They put their resources together, united, and with one goal. we are going for that. That is practical. You don't just say it. Imagine me like, hey, my friends, oh, let us put our resources together. Let us work. I mean, all of us, let us unite. Let us unite together so that we can be free. And then boom, everybody is free. That's not how it works. So unity is not just a word. It is an act. It is something that you do. And it is through that people would then say, oh, I can trust you. Oh, I can unite with you. Yes, I can work with you. Oh my God, okay, let's go. Unity is not just a word. You don't sit there and go around and say, we need to be united. Shut up, Jerry. That's not how it works. In the real world, that is not how it works. Politicians will tell you, Atiku is coming to talk unity. For the past, how many years? He has been watching the killings of innocent people by the Nigerian military in the name of, looking for the IPOB, looking for the ESN. They know the truth. They do. They know those who are politically behind all those killings there. They do. But guess what? In their own favor and the rest of that, they will probably now start talking about that. What about those who have been locked up so far? What about the human rights abuses? Because remember I told you one thing. I said, if you understand the concept of Nigeria very well, number one, you are not going to bother yourself about who they put forward as their president and whatever they do to them. You will never, ever, ever be bothered. You get what I mean now? Because the concept of Nigeria is that no matter who is in charge, Nigeria is built as a business center. Anything that tries to stop the free flow of rent taking, anyone in charge, whoever, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Christian, Muslim, Babalawo, anything, who find themselves in any of your political positions, right? They are rent takers. Do you get that now? They take rent. And if you or anyone, even if their own blood brothers, should try to stop the free flow of that rent-seeking, rent-taking business, they will crush you. But they will promise you everything in the first place. There is nothing that the Nigerian soldiers are doing to the Biafrans right now. The arrest of, the attempt to kill Oloye Sunday Igbo, the arrest, the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, the arrest and the kidnapping of so many innocent people from all over the place in the name of trying to protect Buhari and protect Nigeria. Anyone, Atiku will do the same thing in his own time. Tinubu will do the same thing, because you know what? Whoever found themselves there, you must protect the port. Protect it. It's a business center. And you're just their, what do you call it? You're just their own commodity. So if you understand their concepts, how it works, you won't buy any of their bullshit. And when you now say, okay, this may be like it's going to take a while, but I think I should also give you an idea of what self-determination can also be like. See, when you are pushing for or mobilizing for independence or a breakaway country, it is actually a very long, patient, tortuously patient journey. The only advantage that we have today is that we have modern platforms that we can amplify, that we can use to spread the advocacy and win more people into the rank than it used to be. So that is why the journey or the preaching, the enlightenment and the mobilization for why Yorubas, for example, deserves better than what we are getting in from Nigeria as we speak, and why the rest of the Yorubas should see it that way. And what do you call it? Another. So some of us believe that with the level of technology and what have you that we have today, with the level of people we can reach as well today, yeah, It may not be as torturous as long as it used to be. But ask everyone who's fought, or well, maybe you won't be able to ask everyone who's fought, but maybe you should read on the people who have actually fought for independence of different countries in the past, and then you realize that it is actually not a jolly good ride. No, it's never been a jolly good ride, but we are much better placed today in this 21st century to continue to tell ourselves, right? That you won't be doing the same thing again and again and expect a different result. Especially, you won't be looking forward to the same rogues for the solution to the quagmire pit hell that they have, they have dug everyone into. So if you have anything to opt out, you can choose something certain, something clearer, rather than being an enabler. Enabler is somebody who excused the longevity, or let me say the timing or time consuming of waiting for when Yorubas will actually push to that point of no return. They will be like, well, maybe until then, I'm still going to have to be this one Nigeria. So it is ideal to tell you that if you choose it early enough, you probably are going to make a journey faster or sooner than it would have been if you take another bait of theirs, because the whole air, the whole environment is saturated with different messages as we speak, telling you. In fact, I think I've told my friends sometimes ago, I said, everything we have spoken about on Mayegun's Diary Political, everything that is wrong with Nigeria, every solution you've offered and all that, including the breakup of Nigeria, let's break it up, let's do this and that. These criminals are watching. These rogues knows about them. And you will be surprised that many of them in the coming days and weeks and months, they're going to be agreeing with you. You're going to talk to them. They're going to say, yes, we agree that there should be a Biafra. You'll be like, what? This is how tricky, how cunning, how manipulative they can be. And this is where your own mental health should mean a lot to you. If you have to help yourself out of the whole thing flying here and there, and why some of us know where this is going to end and why we don't want to be part of it when it gets to that part, you should plug into Mayegun's Diary Political, where you can easily have the alternative reality, or let me say, where you can have the real reality than the alternative reality they are creating for you. These guys are so cunning. And the moment that moment that I studied, you remember this? What was it called again? I think it was called something Analytica. What about this scandal? Can you please remind me just for a second? I don't think it's called Google Analytica. No, you remember this this scandal that broke out about a company, a data company that was selling people's data, and then they are tailoring, political campaigns, kind of a worldwide hashtag protest, and they were using your data, to convince and mobilize people for different things all over the world, including helping people to shape their mind into who to vote for or why they should be part of that election. They used that tool in Nigeria in 2015. Please give me their name, Cambridge Analytica. You see, I've got my friends here. I mean, that's when you will know that I didn't go to Unilag. Because if I went to Unilag, maybe I'll be smarter than this. I'll be able to quote word for word. But an idea I get too many ideas, and I'm just like somebody with this, old photographic memory. To the capture well, but the small way capture, I go remember small, then I will ask for help. Do you get that now? So that's when you will know now that I didn't go to Unilag. So if you see any Mayegun where you dealt with in Unilag, it's not me. I'm not that smart. Cambridge Analytica, God bless you. But you remember what they did? I'll tell you. That's what you see what I'm telling you right now. Later, some people will say, my brother, see, now juju, They don't use the head of all these people. You know, we say different things to justify why these criminals always maintain power. What I found out is that some of you are quite you are underrating them. They are not that smart, but they have enough money to pay for people who are actually smart to do things for them. Do you understand that now? In 2015, they brought that same Cambridge Analytica, and they gave them the guy who worked for Barack Obama change. You know, the Obama change campaign that shook the entire America, made Obama the first Black America, the first African American president. It was a huge thing. And some of those things are now go on Netflix now. You will read about how they did all of those things. No be juju. No be juju at all. As all of you are typing right now, typing Atiku, typing Buhari, typing Tinubu, some people are collecting those data. Those data are flying everywhere. So they know, some of you, I will never do anything with APC. So if Atiku and gang, if they pay them, all this data everywhere on Facebook, all of you, posting on Facebook, commenting on Facebook, fighting on Facebook, doing this and that, what they do is that they collect all those data over time. They analyze them. They check your interest. What is your political interest? How do you really think? Are you the kind that, that's in the powerful? It be like juju. Trust me. And once they fine tune everything, the next thing, if you open your Facebook, all the kind of all the posts you will be seeing, videos, they will be having the kind of messages that will be attracting, that will be so similar to what you have been kind of saying or doing on social media and the rest, okay? So for some of you who are always on your calls and everything, so they tap the calls, they pick keyword from your calls. All of you are using smartphones today. Abi, are you not? Some of you are watching me on your phones, Abi. So you make calls, you do all of that. So they take, they take all those keywords, and they now kind of fine tune the messages that, Baba, mommy, if you open your Instagram, you'll be seeing messages about how you should try and vote, even though, you shouldn't vote for these ones. But even if you don't want to vote, but you should, you know what I mean? They will do it in a way that if you are inside the bus, you are going home, you will see signboard, it will be like saying a jazz. Are you with me? That's when people are like, that's why some people are like, no, I don't want my data to be public. It's not just the data you give to your phone company that is used, that they are using. Social media, everything you post. If you go out there and you take a picture and you say, hey, this is me with former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and you post it on your Facebook, and your friends who like the post, all your friends who like the post, especially those who click love, the system takes their data, and the next thing you'll be seeing is everything that is preaching about Obasanjo, about Nigeria, about things that, when you open your radio, you go to hear them. When you open your TV, you go to see them everywhere. Before you know it, Yoruba Nation will just no longer show up anywhere. And let me tell you something. We are talking about a multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars a contract. It's very, very powerful something. That is what some of you would think, say, na juju. No be juju. Because you see human brain, human brains, they assimilate with informations and things they see. Do you know that we are familiar and we remember the things we see? And if you continue to see them constantly and constantly, we begin to get used to them, and we begin to process some of those information in our head, and they'll keep feeding you more and more and more. And everywhere you turn, the information is going to be about Atiku. It's going to be about how Nigeria can still be together. It's going to be about how Biafra can wait. And let me tell you, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. And within a space of 6 months, some of you who strongly believe in Yoruba nation, who strongly believe in Biafra, you will be like a 50-50. And you'll be asking yourself why? Because a lot of things will be happening so fast that you find yourself rolling with it if you allow yourself to. So they pay a lot of money to do all of that. And that is why I love the Yoruba Nation movement, and I love what they have been telling me. Intelligence gathering and the stuff that, do what they do to you, to them. Nigeria infiltrated, and all these politicians, right? They have their agents in every group, every association, everywhere, all over the place to infiltrate you, to weaken you from within. You are there. Some 2-3 people are like, we no go agree, we no go agree. Some will say, Baba, calm down, Jare, everything no be fight, everything no be fight. Let us sit down and strategize. I say, which strategy? Let's face them. No, everything is not fight, Jare. If we go there, they shoot us. You know what I mean? All those people are there and they are planted. So if they do it to you, do it to them again. That's why I love the Yoruba nation. I won't say more than that, but so Tinubu and his own friends from the north, they just came out and they said that pastors from northern Nigeria, they said God told them that Tinubu is going to be the next president. I said, well, let us just cut the chase. All right. Tinubu, Saraki, Atiku, who is Tambuwal, Wike, that one from Bauchi, the one that said a Fulani artsman believed that is a citizen of the world. Everywhere in Africa is his home. Nigeria is his home. It's Bala Muhammad. So those are the people they are lining up for you, right? So so whichever place you found yourself, last, you are done for. You get what I mean? Like this guy said, wherever you give it over, sure you get. Your choice, you can tell now, it's obvious. For those of you who probably feel like, and you love to ask that question of, who should we then vote for? At this point, whichever place you move to now, you are done for. Whether not Atiku, whether not Tinubu, you sure you get me now? Whether not Saraki, whatever is your own fancy, you are done for. But the pastors, they are saying that Tinubu is going to be the next president. So last, if everything ended up between Tinubu and Atiku, you choose your one. Sure you get. I want you to go to Prokoye. Everybody to walk, that is so bad. Now, something happened yesterday. They said the Buhari is celebrating completion of airport terminal. I don't know how many times they have been trying to do terminal or no terminal. They were also there it was in Lagos, Sha. Now, when it got to Lagos, they said it was in Lagos to also open Dangote, which is what they call them, Dangote petrochemical fertilizer, whatever, in Lekki. As usual, everywhere where you go, now disaster they happen. You get that? So somebody sent me a clip. Where is that again? I think it's this one. That was when Buhari was in Lagos. Then after he left Lagos, then something happened. But when he landed in Lagos,
Sorry, guys. I was just laughing at that guy, and I said, "Everybody take away." It's an example of what the young people in Nigeria are currently dealing with. You just don't want to know the number, man. Nigeria at a bank, trust me. You actually see if to say Nigeria they alright, I feel they go Nigeria. Like every month just to go and record raw content of real people, not those who are making up all those fancy fake whatever on social media. Real people, they will tell you things. You get what I mean now? It is that bad. Anyway, Buhari was there and immediately he left. We don't know where to happen or Akpogbo market or
under the bridge, Agbonbon bridge. So if you are in a public car, you just come down and trek.
I don't tell them when you find the way to guide him out.
And at the bridge they burn like this now. Well done. This one be like intentional. You don't tell me the bridge.
income. Like that's so normal to them. Like it's like everyday thing now in especially in southern Nigeria. I can't count how many fire incidences I've actually seen in this 2022 alone in Lagos. And it's almost like everywhere. Ibadan, Enugu, Onitsha, everywhere. It's either a tanker loaded with, boom. And it's pretty much like somebody said in that video. This like said this one, they set this one up. There are many Igbo businesses that they are burning down all across Nigeria. But if you say it, they will say, why? You don't say that. Let us say unity. Let us always say something that, But you still have to say the truth. I mean, you need to say it because you see, it's all those things, all those crimes, all those arsons being committed everywhere by those in government, by those who are also using the lawlessness of Nigeria to commit this. Igbo businesses. And in the process, there are other people, businesses who have also been targeted and destroyed. Ladipo markets, where they sell spare parts. I don't know where spare parts shop they burn. Do you get that now? All this economic sabotage in a lawless place. And the one you saw just now, you're going to hear another one. Maybe another one happened today already that we are actually yet to hear from them. That's how terrible it has become. And you say, all of this, the collapsed infrastructure, collapsed security architecture, the collapsed government system, collapsed judiciary, collapsed policing system. I don't know if you have heard of that. The police are going on protest, on strike. Nigeria police on strike on the 26th of March. In 2 days' time. What am I even saying? They're going to, on Friday, they are going on protest. No, sorry, on Saturday, I don't know. 26th of March, Isha.
Nigeria police are going on protest because they are not paid. Never happened in their history. Now, police are now arresting policemen. Can you believe that? Policemen arresting other policemen because the other policemen want to protest the terrible treatment, unfair treatment by the police authority. They are unfair treatment too. So let me rephrase. That's how mad everything is right now. Okay? Policemen in Nigeria planned to protest non-payment of their salary and terrible welfare. Right? Now, other policemen are now arresting them for protesting for better salary for all of them. So Bushmeat, don't they chase the hunter with that, have you? That's how terrible it is. Nothing. Nigeria is like a place where you can put on a Netflix and it is going to be a blockbuster. You know what I mean? So all of these are happening, and it got so bad that the system has now created an imaginary messiah-like hope. Do you get that now? And how they did that, I don't know, but people said they did that through religion. You know, religion always gives you hope. Religion always gives you a kind of recovery, that even if you are lost, you can always recoup. And then the hope of you getting renewed or reborn, they call it rebirth, Abi. So they said they gave Nigerians that hope. They gave everyone that false hope that, don't worry, a day is coming. A Messiah is just going to come and is just going to make everything go away, like our Lord Jesus Christ, like our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They just say that to people, and people, religiously, they just hope. So it is now easier for the criminal system and their accomplices, the religious leaders, to tell the people when a rogue, which Nigeria has never been lucky anyway, when rogues take over power and they messed up, the religious leaders can quickly go into the Bible, go into the Quran, or go and find one Sefa Ejiogbe Abi, what is it they call her? Just look for something to say, don't worry. You see that leader in Ejiogbe, or if you go and check Lebati Kuku at whatever, or you go and check Yusura to this and that, they will go and look for something and say, you don't worry, oh, God will deal with that criminal using your money to buy private jet, or buying private healthcare abroad, or buying private education for his children abroad. Or they will say, don't worry, don't fight. Another Messiah is coming. But you see, this one, we thought this one was a Messiah, but don't worry, God will punish him. You don't do anything. If you don't believe me, go and read Lebati Kuku chapter 10 and verse 30 and see what happened to King Robocop. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is how they built that imaginary messianic hope for an average, even educated ones too. Those ones who are claiming to be educated, they are worse. Because when it comes to building false hope, using religion to solidify it, education is absolute nonsense to Nigerians. They don't care. They will tell you point blank, do you know how educated I am? Do you know I am a PhD holder in physiotherapy, biochemical, jagbajantis? Nonsense, Konsha. And he will be telling you, but in Ezekiel 30, when a donkey spoke, the miraculous of that speech shocked everybody. Even me, a PhD holder, I am still so shocked. Don't question God, my brother. I have seen the world. I have seen this. The educated ones are the worst. I prefer to talk to those who are not really educated like myself, because we they use layman understanding. We they understand well. Because if I want to talk to my own fellow laymen now, my brothers and sisters, my mommies and daddies, who always know that they know I communicate very well. If I want to tell them, say, inflation don't rise, so say, what is inflation? Inflation, and when we say, everything in the market just go up, but money no today. I say, okay, but if an economist, a typical Nigerian, a liar, who want to lie to you as an economist, he will tell you, you see, debt is actually really good. Honestly, honestly. I get what you mean, Mayegu, but you see, debt is actually good if it's well used. But they know they are not using it. And because they are not using the debt well, they are running other people poorer. So what is the explanation about debt is good? Why are you speaking grammar? Me, I want to tell people, waiting the debts, the consequences of that debt. How many of them are going to go to bed and they will go to bed hungry and they will not even know why? Some will blame themselves that they probably didn't work enough. Some will blame themselves that maybe they are just not lucky enough. But you economists will be saying that, you know, according to ratio 2:7, economic indices of 19, if you borrow 100 naira and they say you will take and pay 200 naira, Baba, you are in debt of 200 naira. You cannot say debt is this, I can service story in Igbo. I use that layman to explain things to my friends because it is easier. And that's why I don't really like, you know, I don't really like those ones who always want to say, I am, you know, I'm professor. Hello, Mayegun, this is a doctor. I say, yes, sir, doctor. And then they start telling you why something is not possible. You get what I mean now? So, talking about education and then talking about how politicians built the messianic image that always make them expect that somebody is coming. So what happened? Since they have built that messianic image of if they tell you somebody is coming to come and change your life, when you know that the entire system is obvious that nobody can change your life with the current system called Nigeria, it is impossible, right? So the only way they can change your life, change our lives, change their own lives too, is to begin the process of easy breakup of Nigeria. Let every unit handle their own affair, right? And then make it an healthy competition that way. And nobody will care who wants to be your president or no president in Nigeristan or wherever you choose to be. Do you understand that now? But if you continue to say, well, what are we going to do? There's nothing much to do. We cannot fight these people or the rest of them, like some people give excuses, right? Then I will ask you to join us in the waiting game because they will still do what they will do. And we know what the end result is going to be. Why waste your time getting involved? Do you think your involvement will make it a little bit different? Of course not. It's not going to make any difference. But it's going to be a waiting game because some of your brothers and sisters are going to join the bandwagon. Oh. And I'm glad that we actually have something to keep ourselves busy while they run that amok. Because in the next couple of weeks, some of them are going to begin to retrace back again as well. Because when you realize it eventually that, okay, let's say they push it forward, they push it back here and there, they can't leave you with Atiku, leave you with Tifnumbu. And people said that you cannot win any election except with PDP or APC. Egbekegbe, would you not then come back to say, oh boy, last, so now Buhari Pro Max, you are getting yourselves into. Now, if you are ready for it, jump into the bandwagon. For those of us who are never going to be part of it, yeah, join us. And when I say join us, it simply means that people who are not sitting on the fence. You see, in the situation we are right now, yeah, if you are not for one Nigeria, then definitely you have to be for something better. And what is that? The breakup of Nigeria, which is a process on its own. Referendum is not war. There are legitimate reasons for why people want that. And there is also a kind of reasons why that is not gaining the mainstream, the front pages of their mainstream. But one of the reasons, which is one of the vital reasons why this is not possibly gaining the front, the front burners you should be, is because some of you are still sitting on the fence. You can't sit on the fence. You've got to get up from that fence, because you can't say you are not for one Nigeria, but you are also not. You don't know how you can be part of the self-determination and then the referendum struggle. Now, for all over the world, in all over the world where people have made attempts to challenge the status quo, to challenge the system, mobilize the people, this is how they do it. You talk to people, you give them the legitimate reasons why this is right. You get more and more people on board. And when you have enough, you have your referendum without the bloodshed. And like I told somebody yesterday, Tunde from Texas, a very good contributor last night, I said, the effort, the process, and then the participation of the people in that process, whether they now voted yes or they voted no, that experience where people say, we want to be on our own and we want to do this peacefully, if they are allowed to experience it, that they fail doesn't mean it is over. You see, a campaign or movement for self-determination or for your own country is a lifetime campaign. Do you understand? It is a lifetime campaign until it is achieved. So there is no end there. There's no end goal other than Yoruba nation. And a generation will start it, and a generation will nurture it, a generation will achieve it. If we are so among those that we have to see that, why don't let us join those who have started it? The advocacy for it requires everybody, everyone's involvement. And when I say everyone's involvement, you should know why you are getting involved. Somebody said we should be doing more. I think I'm getting to that part where I'm getting tired now anyway, so I'm going to be rounding up, okay? Because I've still not recovered fully, but I'm glad that I could talk enough that I could hear myself as well, not like what it was 2-3 days ago. So kindly bear with me, okay? So people said we should talk more on the legitimacy, the validity, the legitimacy of the self-rule referendum and all that all of us who have a chance of speaking to people, having platforms and all of that to talk to people, myself included, inclusive, which is the Temple of Truth and my members and all that, we should always kind of, repeat the validity, the legitimacy of self-determination in a disjointed, uneven, unequally distributed, and oppressive system called Nigeria. These demands are legitimate. Nobody should be criminalized for it. Nobody should go to exile for this, and nobody should be killed for this. So it is legitimate. Like I said, people say we should say more. And there's so much that we'll continue to repeat them why this is indeed right. You can't sit on the fence. Nobody should sit on the fence. I'm studying, I'm observing. Stop observing. Okay. So I've been told that if you go onto the Ilanomo Dua worldwide, just search for them on search for them on Google. I don't have the exact website right now. I would have shared that with you, right? So you can join, sign up. For us in the UK, if you want to be a member of Elano in the UK, they have their website here in the UK, and it's quite straightforward. elanouk.org. I bet that's the website, elanouk.org. And then you can sign up there. You can even be chipping in your own £5 a month, contributing to the advocacy there. We have other Yoruba Yoruba nationalist groups all over the world. If you feel like there is none in your own city right now, start it. Do you know one thing about advocacy for self-determination? The one adopted by the Yoruba advocacy group is that you be the contact, if there is none, in your city. And this this voluntary membership drive is the beginning of what you will call your own belief, your own contribution, and your own effort in actualizing the Yoruba nation to start with, okay? So remember that. Be that contact in your own city. It takes just one single person sometimes to clear a path. But do you know that the moment you begin to clear that path, others will join you. They will broaden it, they will widen it, and they will take more. And before you know it, thousands, if not millions, will have to thread that path. So you can be that person in your city. It takes a lot to be that person. But trust me, we have those who are capable of doing that. Some people just want a little push, and they will start doing wonder. I love what Tunde is trying to do in South Africa. So Tunde is working every now and then. I think the first move of Tunde in South Africa for this Yoruba movement is to first have this word of the mouth, mobilization in South Africa. Get the people he can get from his own immediate location in South Africa. And the moment they organize a meeting, they can spread the invitation to everybody from all over. All the Yorubas who are currently in South Africa. That's how you build something. Because Tunde spoke with the Alano, Professor Banji Akintoye directly. He spoke with Professor Adeniran directly. And they gave him their approval and blessing that he should go ahead and do that in South Africa. You are there in Dubai. Many of you are in America, and you have been doing great. Oh, you know what I mean? If you can't find any in your city, start it, and you can link up with other people from other cities too. It is called networking, something so needed as much as yesterday. You know what I mean? As far back as yesterday. So let's make that happen in our little capacity. There are many platforms that are being built up right now. Some of them are going to come to light in the next couple of weeks, okay? As the politicians are putting together their different packages to keep our people hoodwinked or manipulated. We know they are going to get a lot of them manipulated. We are also going to do our best to make sure that they never really get the numbers they are looking for, and we never make it easier for them to get people manipulated. All these efforts, right, are being put together behind the scene. As they are working their way, we are working in our own way to make it even more difficult for them in the coming weeks to convince our people or to continue to buy our people for their bogus charade called election. So a lot can happen between now and that December, and as well as between now and that their bogus charade called election. But the most important part is to ensure that the stable, consistent mobilization of our people, keeping them all engaged and in contact. So all these platforms springing up that I'm aware of, I hope that by the time they come upstream, they will do exactly what we intend them to achieve. Keep our people safe from their toxic, fraudulent, manipulative lies of 2023 fraudulent election. So remember that. It's a big thing. I think this is where I'm going to round up. I would have loved to take few calls, but remember, I kind of don't feel too great, and my time is completely up. I don't know why. I think I talk more now that I don't feel well than I used to, even when I'm normal. Anyway, thank you so much for spending your time with me again tonight. If you are just joining me, right, you can watch the broadcast from the start again if you want to. Somebody should go and tell Atiku, tell Tifnumbu and gang, okay, and tell all these sellers, these humbled slaves and obedient fools, these sophisticated morons and all their uncles and aunties abroad, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, and and all of them. This is their season. They're gonna try to blackmail you. They're gonna try to force your hand. they're going to try to make you question your sanity. Do not give them that. Do not give them that chance. It's a chance. It's a right that they don't have to take. They don't have with you in this regard. So, thank you very much once again for your time. Where is that? Okay. So we'll keep it at that, okay? So thank you once again. And remember, if you are just joining, you can watch the broadcaster from the beginning. If this is your first time of watching me, maybe this is the first time you actually stayed this long watching Mayegun, I'm going to say, well, you can still subscribe onto Mayegun's Diary Political. And then when I'm back again the next time, you will probably won't miss anything, okay? So choose your own battle and choose it very carefully. Tell Atiku and all of them that unity is not just a word. It is an act. It's not something they say. It is something they do. And he himself, if he wants to talk about equity, well, if he wants to talk about unity of one Nigeria and the rest of them, he probably will disqualify himself from running for president. Buhari just finished there, or he's about to finish 80 years. What is equity in that? What is fear in that? If Atiku believes that he will be the right person to come from northern Nigeria again to come and lead your one Nigeria, and you know that Atiku is not relying on his own qualification or anything at all, because it doesn't. It's not qualified for anything. Just like Buhari and Tinubu and gang, is relying more on the voters' base of northern Nigeria and some little sprinkle here and there from southern Nigeria. Doesn't matter. All they need is the number, and they kind of have some of the number already. You get what I mean? About what happened to the people from southern Nigeria? They have to wait, because the only person who can help them defeat Buhari or APC, egbekegbe, must be somebody from northern Nigeria. That's the bobo. They are selling it everywhere. So drink it if they serve it to you. But I'm telling you, you don't want to drink their poison, because it's all going to end in one thing: tears, as usual. You go where I mean now. So we are not going to buy that, and we will tell them that if they want to be fair enough, if they want to say equity, if you want to say unity, if you want to say one country, then talk about equity, talk about fairness, and then talk about justice. Atiku doesn't represent any of this. It is all here balloon. And if you fall for it, that's yours. So lastly, by the way, I said I was going to say thank you to my friends who, meanwhile, the Ominira Yoruba, you remember the Ominira Yoruba 2022.org petition. Currently, the reason why I don't say much about that petition is because people once they used to ask or to have something they call motivation, something that they always used to push and pressure to keep pushing the number, is to know where they are. But for some reason, the handlers of the petition, right, they have removed the counters on it, and somebody said they removed it because of security. Now, you don't fill a form without, you don't listen, or maybe I should put it this way, okay? And this is the last time I'm going to say something about the petition, if nothing changes, all right? I don't know what these guys are doing. I don't know how they are thinking. They have a very brilliant and great idea about a petition that could, at least be a symbolic sign that Yorubas, they will leave if they have the chance and the opportunity to to vote or to participate in a referendum to say we want to leave. If you ask them and you give them that chance, they will leave. And I don't know who gave them the idea that they should remove the counters. You don't know how many people who have signed. You don't know how many people who haven't signed. And they said they continue to, and I'm kind of surprised. You get what I mean now? Koiki is promoting the signature of the petition. Sign the petition, sign the petition. Have you signed the petition? But nobody knows how many people have signed it anymore. I have it on my screen almost every day. And I believe that we should be able to sign, you won't be able to sign it more than once. You get what I mean? But it's just there. Sign the petition. Sign the petition. You don't know how many people who have signed. So that's not how to sign petition for those who don't know. Okay, when you put up a petition, you have to say a figure. We are looking for 100,000. We are looking for 1 million. And then you begin to know how many people have signed it. So after this evening, which is good, after this evening, I'm not going to ask anybody to sign any goddamn petition as long as we don't have any numbers of those who have actually signed it. Whatever is going on in that place, I bet they will tell us and they will let us know. Okay, so the link to that petition again is still www.ominirayoruba2022.org. Okay, so I'll copy it. I'll leave it in the comment section for everyone who probably haven't used it. But if you have already signed it, that's great. Okay, somebody said I should bring Mrs. Onitiri to come and tell us. You see, that's the problem that some of us don't kind of get. You see, the process of that petition is so straightforward. All right. It doesn't need much noise. It doesn't need much, what have you. They've done so well, so perfectly well, until they remove the counter. Counter is what determines how many petitions is, how many of your petitions are in. And for the past 1 week, I have been trying to send that indirectly to say, what happened to the counter? What happened to the counter? Somebody said, "Oh, Mayegun, maybe you should. I mean, you need to call Mrs. Onitiri to come and because she explained the reason why they remove it." I was like, okay, you get what I mean now? So, I mean, more reason to offer removal, and whatever the reason or whatever the reason why they remove the counter, it is not going to help the petition. So yeah, I have shared the link in your. Somebody said we don't need the counter. I bet that's what they told you. That's fine. The link is here. You can use that, but it will be my own last time of talking about it. Okay. So thank you very much again for your time, everyone. And yeah, you can still like the broadcaster before you go. And then to those who probably just chipped, sorry, I'm reading something there. Right. You see, some of us, in fact, maybe I should just leave it at that, because it's actually should be a conversation for another thing. But I'm not going to talk about it anyway, because whatever understanding you have about the way you put your petition together, a supposed Yoruba nation petition of 5 million. So maybe they should never have put a number and say we are looking for 5 million signature. Do you get what I mean now? So I hope it helps. Anyway, so thank you very much. I'll see you some other time. So again, I think there's something there I wanted to add earlier before I go. But like I said, I think we'll just keep it for another time. I'll we'll keep it for another time. So thank you very much and all the best. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràjì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràjì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.